So, Patti, let me ask you, you've worked as an expert with thousands of workplaces, and I'm sure you've seen the gamut. Do you have a system for quickly classifying workplaces?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have been to so many workplaces that I can walk into one and kind of read the temperature and give an assessment pretty quickly. And it's helpful because I can then talk to clients about perhaps not only where they are, kind of a benchmark, but really seeking to become even better on the spectrum. And there's healthy workplaces, there are so-so workplaces, and then there are unhealthy workplaces. And in my mind, I sort of, classify them on a color spectrum. And so orange, not so healthy; yellow, pretty good, but could be better; and green is the best. So just to give you a quick description, the orange workplace, which is the unhealthy one, it's palpable. You can walk into a workplace and you know that these are managers and leaders who don't really care about their people, who are checking boxes, who do things that are bare minimum, thinking, for example, that if we sort of keep people at arm's length and at a distance, that's going to help us in the workplace. We're only going to worry about making money and that's it. And the employees sense this. And of course, the irony is that one of the things that the leaders in these companies think is we're not going to get sued because we're not really doing anything that could be misinterpreted. The irony is they get sued the most because employees can sense that that's really their attitude. As you move through the spectrum, the yellow one is better, and frankly, it is where the vast majority of companies fall. It's certainly healthy, but it could be a little bit more so. And there's a story that I tell often about an investigation I conducted that I think really exemplifies this. I interview a person at a big company, start asking him questions, and he pauses and says, "You know what, Patty, you seem like a great lady. Obviously, you're taking this very seriously. We're happy that the company brought you in, but I just want to tell you something for the record. This is the 15th time I've sat down to talk about these allegations against this person. And it ends the same every time, and I know it's going to end the same with you as well. So while I appreciate that you're here, the truth of the matter is that the person who's being accused sells product. And at this company, that's really what matters."
Oh, wow. So it's kind of going through the motions, doing all the right things in form, but maybe not being as intentional as they could be.
Right, right. So they certainly weren't orange because their heart was in the right place. They wanted to do the right thing. But I think this exchange, which I shared with the client, really showed that you've still got a little bit of work to do in terms of people feeling like their voice is heard and problems are truly going to be solved. And this idea of profit over people is not something that you want your employees to feel, which then transitions us into the green workplace, which is obviously the healthiest of all. And in those workplaces, the words that I use, and it's because I survey, what employees are saying to me, is that companies in that category are strategic, they are authentic, they're consistent, and they're intentional. Nothing is done by accident. And I don't mean that they are manipulative, but they really get it. They understand what it is to be a company that puts its people first.
Super. So then how would you say being a green workplace, which I'm sure all of us would aspire to be in, how would that translate into training?
Yeah, so really quickly, orange workplaces do no training or the bare minimum. Yellow does a little bit more than that, maybe trains its managers and maybe beyond just harassment topics. But from a training perspective, what I see in green workplaces, again, because of the authenticity and because of the intentional component of it, they want to be transparent. They want to make sure that not just their managers, but that their employees understand what's expected of them, what their rights and responsibilities are. But they also provide them with really valuable tools like how do we communicate in the workplace in a way that's productive? How do we prevent conflict and how do we resolve it? So they go beyond not only just managers, but also the topics. They really make it clear that part of their culture is to train people so that they can have the resources to make it a green workplace.
Which is great because they're showing that they care about the workplace experience.
Exactly.
Great, thank you.